Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to yet another Track Tides Community Race stream. We're back racing. We're back here in Charlottesville in North Carolina. Not Charlottesville, excuse me. We're in Charlotte in North Carolina in the United States. Fantastic set of races to come here in, well, we're back in the 70s in NASCAR without the racism. We've got some fantastic cars to show off today, and for the drivers to race around this wonderful oval. And joining me, as ever, it's Spitslam. How are you doing tonight, mate?
Doing very well. Hello, guys.
Welcome back to a stream alongside me, Spitslam. It's been a few weeks, hasn't it?
3 or 4. Mate, it's been a month almost.
It has. We had a few weeks away just because of some things. Well, things for me in my personal work means I couldn't stream, and Spitslam was away last week, so he couldn't stream. We got one round out where I wasn't present, and then now we're back to racing again. As I said, Mountain Peak Raceway here in Charlotte in North Carolina, 1.5 miles of circuit and 4 corners? Question mark?
4.
4? I don't know how you can classify corners
I
on an
don't know
oval.
as well.
It's all one big corner, isn't it, really?
So I would think like, okay, so that's a corner, like the first bank turn. So that's one corner, and there's a second corner. Where's the other 2?
I'm not sure what on
I
earth
guess
is
why
going on
Indy. I know why Indy has 4, but this, I'm confused.
Yeah, it's Americans are a very, very interesting breed. Before we dwell too much on Americans, because I'm sure we won't get any answers that are quite satisfying at all, we best have a look on track, see what's going on, as the drivers are currently qualifying. John Ford currently on provisional pole position. Nathan over there, 33.103 there. Two 25-minute races tonight here in Charlotte. All the races are not on. This is because there is a safety car, a live safety car. Lil Skittle has bravely to be the safety car here with his yellow Cobra. He will be picked to lead the drivers around for their green flag lap at the start. The incidents slow the pack down. You see the team coming in here, Nathan Alder and John Ford slipstreaming around the circuit to get themselves onto the top. The circuit working. John Ford currently in position, Nathan Alder in second, and look at that, fantastically done, switching. Shake and bake, baby, shake and bake. John Ford and Nathan Alder working together, and then also just behind him, who's going to join the slipstream party outside. Just saying, is in their position. But a few matching levels as well, of course, as the teams start. Skywalker.
Might be right, I don't know. It's like these little teams that are forming and we don't know who else. But yeah, Ryan, Julie, Isaac got and Roger should. I don't know if anyone else is in there.
Apologies to the viewers, actually. I've just adjusted some game sound. I hope you can hear us a little bit better. I think we were a little bit quiet coming into this race. But I brought the game sound down a little bit there, so hopefully you can hear us a bit better now. If you missed anything we were saying, we were just talking rubbish about Americans and saying that there's things going on track and they're doing teamwork. That's about all that we said. We don't really say much of particular substance here on the Track Time Community Race streams. 3.5 minutes left of qualifying. John Ford still holding on to that pole position. Nathan Alder 0.069 seconds behind in that slipstream party going on in the TKR racing camp. Diogo Texeira and Just Veyers also having a bit of a slipstream party, although Diogo goes very, very high there and loses out on a little bit of slipstream. That's going to bulk his lap time a little bit. Just needs to get behind Diogo here if he wants to get a decent lap time. He's kind of feeding the slipstream rather than feeding off it, which is not the way to go fast in NASCAR, is it, Spitslam?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually haven't watched any NASCAR races, even though I actually made this calendar for this series. Like this season was made by me and Ryan Skalker. Even though I did NASCAR was my idea.
You've never watched
I
NASCAR?
never watched NASCAR.
You're missing out. It's a fantastic, fantastic racing series. Oh, look at that. We've already got an incident in qualifying. John Ford and Nathan Alder, the teammates, coming together. They were slipstreaming and they came a little bit too close there. Ryan Skywalker is out on circuit and he is trying to set the pace in the Lightning McQueen livery here. Look at him as he goes by. Rusty's. Ka-chow. Ryan Skywalker currently in third position without slipstream, so clearly he's got a lot of pace, but he's also got a lot of enemies to defending the reigning champion. I don't want to say people are out to get him, because they're not. It's just, if you beat the reigning champion, then it's an extra win, isn't it?
It is, and I just noticed, if you look on the 95 top on up top on Ryan Skywalker, it's actually, when you position it with the sun, it's like blazing out, and just the gradient seems very cool. Some of these liveries are very well made. Ryan also having pole position, 32.942.
Yeah, 32.942. Where's he pulled that pace from? That's incredible. He doesn't even have any slipstreaming. He's faster than John Ford and Nathan Alder, who are slipstreaming together. Really, really good pace from Ryan Skywalker. Clearly, he knows his NASCAR. Very, very small circuit here in Charlotte, actually. Not one of the bigger NASCAR circuits. So it's one that you actually have to lift a little bit for, I think, in some of these corners. Some NASCAR circuits, you can basically just floor it around the majority of the circuit. Of course, not all of them. But yeah, quite a tight one like this. You've got two ways to go around it. You can either get your corners exactly right like Ryan Skywalker is and get a fast time, or you could just wall ride it, which once upon a time might have been game physics, but as we've seen this year, it's real life, isn't it now?
Oh, it is. I actually, that was a moment I saw. That was really popular. And actually, I might know why I chose NASCAR. It was maybe because of the movie Cars. And yes.
The best movie of all time.
I love those movies.
An epic movie. A truly epic movie. We all love cars. Every car fan. Every petrol head loves cars.
I think this is the only reason we have this on here.
Well, I'm glad we do, because NASCAR's a nice, it's a nice, unique race series. We've had a lot of circuit racing, as Ryan Skywalker gives us use for it. It's a bit of a bump draft there and ends up pulling into the pits, I think. Or goes for a full Doc Hudson over the middle. 7 seconds left to qualifying. Ryan Skywalker into the pits. He's not going to set a faster lap time. Currently, he's on pole position. Can anyone beat him before the end of qualifying? John Ford and Nathan Alder certainly can't. They're pulling into the pits. They're second and third right now. Roger Sale is going to come across the line now. He's coming round the final corner. He's not improving his lap time there. And Andrew Glegg also not improving his lap time. Victor Lundgren coming round, tailing Keith Holt, trying to improve on his lap time. Trying to get up onto the second or even the first row of the grid. Coming around the back corner now, I believe Victor Lundgren, excuse me, on the final corner. They all look the same here. Crosses the line, and he doesn't improve on his lap time. The last few drivers to come around is going to be Isaac Gard. Here he is, coming around the last big bend. Oh, and he doesn't get any time at all, and so he's going to be onto the grid. Well, that does conclude qualifying, and Ryan Skywalker puts it on pole without any slipstream. Again, very, very impressive from Ryan Skywalker's pit slam.
Definitely is, but yeah, I'm still confused on like all of these racing, and this is going to be, I think, one of the closest racing we have ever seen in the history of the Track Titan Community Race Series, because everybody will be bump trapping and everything. So this might actually be one of the most crashes we ever see in Track Titan as well.
There's certainly potential. I do hope not, but there certainly is potential.
Like, so many potentials, and I just don't know.
Well, we'll see how it turns out. for the start of the race, though, let's see how they're going to set off. Of course, they are going to be doing a rolling start. Lil Skittle is going to pull out from the back of the pack in that safety car. He's going to come to the front, take them round on one rolling lap before they get going on the leader's pace, and the leader is Ryan Skywalker. He will dictate the pace. John Ford is going to be alongside him. Nathan Older in third position. Roger Sale in fourth. It's going to be Andrew Glegg in fifth, then Victor Lundgren in sixth. Lucas Gulacek in 7th and Hugh Jath in 8th, and then they tail off behind. There is a whole total of 14 drivers on the grid ready and raring to go for this race. And 1 minute until we get going. And you know what, Switzerland, you know how I always ask you who's going to be in the lead into the first corner? There isn't a first corner. No. What am I meant to ask you?
Technically yes, technically no.
First corner's like 2 feet after the start-finish line, so...
It is. No, well... as I said, I never seen an actual oval race, but not just like NASCAR, but I have never seen it online as well. I know iRacing does NASCARs. That's where that's
plenty of NASCAR.
You will never. I don't think you will ever see this on AC. Again.
You won't see it very often at all. Here comes Lil Skittle in the safety car down to the front. He's going to lead them away. He's going to take off along the track at 100 kilometers an hour, and then the rest of the drivers are going to slowly peel off. Remember, leader sets the pace. They're going to be going side by side on this rolling lap before we start the race. Very exciting stuff here. A race start like no other in Track Titan Community Race Series. Our NASCAR race soon to be underway. Ryan Skywalker taking the pace as they go around. Lil Skittle leading them now. The drivers are going to slowly slow down to match the pace of Lil Skittle, who's running at 100 kilometers an hour. And hopefully the drivers don't crash behind as they all slow down and meet the safety car coming around the big, long left-hand bend, the first bend here at Charlotte at Mountain Peak Raceway. Ryan Skywalker holding that inside line, of course, as the drivers have to just stick to their lanes in NASCAR. We'll see if he can get the jump on John Ford before the line, though. Penalties will be handed out if drivers fancy overtaking before the line. Lil Skittle, our safety car, peels into the apron, and the leader sets the pace. Ryan Skywalker on the left, John Ford on the right, Nathan Older looking to capitalise from just behind, and Roger Sale looking to do just the same. Safety car well and truly in now. Very short lap around as we get ready to go here. Ryan Skywalker setting the pace, puts the foot down, hammer to the floor. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. Nathan Older gets a big jump on John Ford. He's up the inside of him already. His teammates working together, and Andrew Glegg also filters in behind. Roger Sale has dropped down 2 positions in that first corner alone, but Ryan Skywalker controls the pace from the front of the pack. Nathan Older, John Ford, Andrew Glegg looking to get some of that slipstream down the back straight here, and they're all filtering out line astern, looking to get any slipstream. Nathan Older's right up underneath Ryan Skywalker on this first lap, but he runs a little bit wide, washes out there. Ryan Skywalker comes around to complete the first lap here at Charlotte, and who's that ducking down the inside? That's Victor Lundgren on the low line, looking to make a move on Roger Sale, but ducking up underneath his slipstream once again, looking to cover, and all the drivers staying very, very close together here. No major accidents, Spitzler.
Somehow that's actually quite surprising, but it only takes 2 people. It only takes 2 people to create a crash and 3 people to bring up the safety cars, so anything can happen. As I see Roger Sale here to overtake Andrew Glegg down the inside, really well done. Now that's not good. Check, that's Victor Lundgren trying to join him as well, overtaking Andrew Glegg. Andrew Glegg still going side by side, almost 3 wide into the next turn. Now 2 wide. Now a little long. There you go, that's what I'm talking about. You just need 2 people to start all of this up. And they go line of turn and nothing happens.
It's a domino effect, isn't it? It's a dangerous domino effect as we see a challenge for the lead undertaking here. Nathan Older sniffing up the inside. John Ford goes very, very wide, clips the wall at the top of the hill here. Nathan Older ducking up back underneath Ryan Skywalker. Ryan Skywalker really knows how to handle these NASCARs. You can just see it. His car is stuck to the floor. Nathan Older's not used to it. He's a circuit racer by heart, and you can certainly tell he's used to higher downforce cars. He's keeping very, very close to Ryan Skywalker, but just see, as he comes around every single corner, he washes out wide. You can't handle the slipstream, can you? You can't keep the handling right.
I think this must feel so weird for so many people as well. Even for me, it feels weird. counting on it, but wow. All of these cars, line of start, you just hear, I don't know, what are in these cars? V8s?
V8s, these have got to be
That's the
V8s.
modern. That's
Surely.
not V8,
Big old,
that's
big
the
old, big old
modern.
American V8s, surely.
Of course they do.
70s.
Yeah, it's the 70s, right?
They're like
It's the
there'll be about
biggest
5. There'll
engine.
be 5 liters and they'll make 60 brake horsepower. But it's it's still good racing here. No big challenges for positions here. A little bit further back, Roger Sale and Victor Lundgren are going side by side. Victor Lundgren on the low line here, looking to get a little bit of slipstream from Roger Sale as they both wash out very, very wide here. And on to the back straight, Victor Lundgren down below. Across the start-finish line, excuse me, Roger Sale trying to hold his position for his dear life. Victor Lundgren just can't find a way past yet, can he?
But there actually might be a first place position. Usfair stepping a little bit on Diego Teixeira. That's the first overtake of this whole race. And let's hope to see
there's a challenge for the lead. There's a challenge for the lead as Nathan Alder goes low, trying to get the move on Ryan Skalka. Ryan Skalka holds the high line as they come around the long bank. And they've come together. They've come together, Ryan Skalka and Nathan Alder. Nathan Alder manages to hold the car steady. So does Ryan Skywalker, and this is really heating up at the top, at the front of the pack, isn't it?
This is actually heating up pretty a lot. That was a really good move, trying to dive it down the inside, not outside. I'm so eager to see the outside just being used a lot in normal racing. Here at the ovals, the inside is so much better, and now you just see Ryan trying to pull down the inside and having more speed. Even after that bump, these cars are stable. You could have seen that in the crash. A normal F1 car or the DCR that would spin. Oh, these two are real close as well. Diego Teixeira or taking. Use down. I don't remember still. Use Veyers. And Use Veyers actually falling down. Maybe he was in the pits. I don't know.
Oh, he's on the apron. He's going slowly. Not sure what's happened to him there. He could have been involved in a little bit of an incident, but there's no one else on track going slowly, so don't know if that was his own doing. He's down on the apron now and looks to be a little bit out of this race. He'll be hoping for a safety car period, won't he?
Oh, he definitely will be. And Keith overtaking the huge ass.
Take a bow, son.
Two guys. Overtaking Keith, one of the oldies. I'm so sorry, Keith. Just trying to overtake huge ass. Now there you can see Hughes had to go into the pit lane, that's for sure. But yeah, just having more speed on the back straight. Now going next to the first corner, and he's in front of Keith, so Keith made up no positions.
He did. Oh, and he's tagged the back of Hugh just there, coming around the final corner. And here comes Diogo Teixeira around the outside of Keith Holt, takes a position away from him. Keith Holt slots back into 10th position, and he was really trying to take that position away from Hugh just there for a little bit, wasn't he? But, well, it's not. You get a little bit of a tap on the rear corner of the driver in front, and you just lose so much speed, don't you?
Yeah, just put a message that those girls so I didn't choose because because he doesn't know how to join the track. Otherwise, I will just continue on the battle. The battle for the lead that is going on. Nathan Alder still trying to overtake Ryan Skalker, now going around the outside. Oh, almost touching the top wall out there. The pro barriers, be careful. Those are actually quite stiff, but you will not get that much hurt in these cars. And now the gap is just blown away as close as they were. This madness, almost seconds growing apart of these guys.
It's funny, isn't it? They yo-yo back and forth. They come out close and then they get further apart with just a little bit of oversteer, a little bit of running wide. Two drivers that seem to have been locked together are these two teammates, Andrew Glegg that is, and John Ford, trying to capitalise on each other's slipstream coming around the oval here. And, well, it's going well for them because they're not letting Nathan Alder and Ryan Skalka run away quite yet, are they?
Well, not with a 2-second gap. I think, 2 seconds. I don't know how much 2 seconds is in oval. It seems quite a lot.
Nothing. That'll disappear in a second.
Yeah, one mistake, you can touch the wall and 2 seconds are gone. That's true. So if Nathan makes a mistake, or he will slow down just a little bit more than you should, I think John Ford can actually catch up a lot, but these battles not going as well. Keith hold and you just still battling over the place. Keith now on the back straight, having the position, having so much more speed. Then he just going into the third, now into the fourth corner. I don't know where the transition is. And there you can see who is that, Diego. Why does Diego doesn't have a hood?
He's a hot rod.
Oh, he does. Oh, he does have a hood. It's just black. Now it's on racist.
Right, I'll take over from you there, Spitzlab. Keith Holt, Hugh Johnson, Diogo Teixeira. Line astern here, going around the oval. Nathan Alder up into the lead of this race. What's happened to Ryan Skywalker? He's disconnected.
Internet. No.
Oh, goodness me. Ryan Skywalker tragically disconnecting from the race. I'm not sure what's happened to him there. That could be internet, that could be power shedding. There was a bit of load shedding going on in South Africa today. Oh, it's a real shame for Ryan Skywalker. He's out of this race and Nathan Alder leads the way. But now Nathan is he's in no man's land. He's got no one near him to tow off. Mind you, he's got no one to tow quite yet. But if John Ford and Andrew Glegg can stick the corners together, give each other a bit of tow, they've got to catch up to their teammate. And we could have a little bit of a TKR three-way battle for the lead soon, hopefully.
One mistake is all mistakes. It applies everywhere, so I hope it applies here as well. But yeah,
well, a big shame
for Ryan.
A big shame for Ryan there. It's really sad, actually, that Ryan is disconnected. He's been looking forward to this race. Hopefully, he's back for the second race, a reverse grid. He should be starting from pole for that one as well if he gets back in the race, I believe. What a shame! What a shame for the South African driver there. Meanwhile, John Ford, Andrew Glegg still going at it. Andy still sticking behind John Ford for now. I hesitate to say that they're going at it because they are teammates. They could just be working together. These two aren't working together though. Here we go. Hugh Jass and Diogo Teixeira ducking at each other. Hugh Jass with Diogo Teixeira right up alongside him. Diogo Teixeira holds that low line. Hugh Jass on the high line. Ryan Skywalker rejoins the race in 12th position. He's back in the race. Must have been an internet blip for him. Diogo Teixeira right up behind Hugh Jass. This is incredible racing from these two. As you can see, just behind Diogo Teixeira here, on board with him. Just behind Hugh Jass, sorry. On board with Hugh Jass. As Diogo Teixeira looks to make the move. He takes the low line. Hugh Jass sticks to that high line. And Diogo is pushing him along. He's wheeling him along. He's saying, go! We need to catch up to Keith Holt or else he's going to run away with it. I want that 7th place. And here they go, side by side across the line. Such a short lap here at Charlotte. And Diogo, clips the wall there. Clips the wall and just about holds on. Fortunately for him, he doesn't end up losing the car. He's still just behind Hugh Jass.
These guys are still going. And I think I've been told that bump crafting or drafting shouldn't be, well, bump crafting shouldn't be possible. There goes Diego, bump trapped in his way. Into 8th place, now just going down the inside of Hugh Jass and gaining a place. Casually doing that, and bump trapping is definitely possible then in these cars. But they are still going side by side, so his place is not quite, is not quite accepted. Now it is, and now Ryan will try and overtake these two guys and somehow overtake them for 2 laps.
Ryan's got the pace. We know he does. However, he is 3 laps down. Here he goes. Down the inside of Hugh Jass. They're 3 wide. Down to the start finish line. Diogo Teixeira. Hugh Jass holds that inside line. Gets behind Diogo Teixeira. He cuts back across. Almost chops Ryan Skywalker's nose off. And he looks to the inside of Diogo Teixeira. And now they're going side by side here. Ryan Skywalker trying to get on the outside line. He had to overtake the pair of them around the outside. Surely he can't manage that one. As Hugh Jass doesn't manage to overtake Diogo Teixeira quite yet. And these drivers just threaten an overtake. And then they can't quite get it, do they?
Wait. My internet go boom. Diego touching the wall a little bit there, but still, I don't think that's much for Hugh, who is now behind by quite a margin.
Yeah, Hugh Jass dropped back a little bit there. Diogo Teixeira gapping Hugh just a touch, getting into that slipstream behind Ryan Skywalker, trying to gain a couple tenths on him and catch up to Keith. He's been trying to get back up to Keith for a little while now. 13 minutes left in this 25-minute race. Then another one after this with a reverse grid. These long races here are a slog for these NASCAR drivers. especially this small circuit. 4 seconds of lead though, out in the front of the pack, and Nathan Alder has approached back markers. He's reached the traffic. He's ducking up behind Deuce Veyers. He's got past Alexander Gray. He's looking to get past Deuce Veyers now. Gets on that inside line, gets past Deuce Veyers without too much trouble. That's exactly how it should be done. And now Deuce should be trying to duck up underneath his slipstream. He does just there. Use that slipstream to get him some fast laps in at the very least. You could try and nick some points away from those in front with a fastest lap, potentially. I don't know.
What's the fastest lap, actually?
What is the fastest lap? Let's have a look. Very difficult to look at a glance because they all just say 33. Or 32.
I see.
There is a 32 there. Ryan Skywalker into the 32s with a 32.919. Nathan Alder into the 32s with a 32.958. Ryan holds the fastest lap at the minute, doesn't he?
Yeah, so it doesn't make a difference. He still has the fastest lap. So you just go and vibe. Now we are in like no man's territory. Everybody is quite distant.
Yeah, a little bit. We're kind of just circulating at the minute, aren't we? Keeping this gap to Texera managed. Hugh Jass not too far behind them. Lucas Gulacek just in the land of his own. Same with Victor Lundgren. They haven't had much screen time just because, well, there isn't too much going on for them, is there? It's a small circuit, but you know what? You don't catch up to too much traffic. Roger Sales tapped the wall there, just on the track map, but he hasn't dropped back too far. And, well, in the drivers' meeting before this race we held, we were telling the drivers about their safety car race start and don't be an idiot and don't crash. However, I want a bit of interest here.
Yep. That's for sure. But still, Andrew and John Ford, the two closest cars.
They are still
together.
Lapping traffic too.
Yeah, look who's the traffic. The Swedish meatball rolling. And what is he rolling? That's my question now. Dinoco X Anime. Okay, I'm not going to look anymore. That's disgusting.
Let's have a look at his livery here on stream. Have a little bit of anime. Is it Hatsune Miku? I don't know. I'm not enough of a weeaboo.
Wait. How do you know?
Who doesn't? Everyone knows.
Yeah, now you sound like
everyone knows. Everyone knows who Hatsune Miku is. Come on now.
I don't know.
I've played it on Counter Strike to know who Hatsune Miku is.
Wait, I play Counter Strike and I don't know.
Every surf server in Counter Strike is a Hatsune Miku server.
Then yeah, that's why I play competitive. There it goes, John Ford and Andrew Glegg might not be copywriting anymore.
Side by side. Oh, there he goes. What a move by John Ford there. Down the inside, coming off the first big bend on the start-finish straight. Got it, signed, sealed, delivered. He's ahead of Andrew Glegg now. And this slipstream train is going to continue. It's still 4.5 seconds between John Ford and Nathan Alder. Is that it doesn't look like a bridgeable gap quite yet, does it?
Doesn't look like a big gap. Definitely one bad line, which I don't know how to take a good NASCAR line. How everybody says in America, but
just wall ride.
No. Where was it? Las Vegas? I don't know the track. Where was it?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't remember who it was. I just want to see some Ricky Bobby references in truth. Andrew Glegg's threatening John Ford here, looking to try and take that position back away from his teammate. Just a big shout out to the chat as well. Thank you for commenting, Mercury and Skill. A safety car wouldn't unlap Ryan Skywalker, unfortunately. With he's 3 laps down, but because the laps are so slow and, well, the safety car situation we got going here in Assetto Corsa is rudimentary at best. It's Ryan's going to have to get these 3 laps back by pure skill alone, and well, it might be a little bit big of an ask, but he should start the next race from pole. Assetto Corsa could have an Assetto Corsa moment, but that's our prerogative for racing a 10-year-old game, isn't it?
Definitely is. So, yeah, I think now he will start first because he did not. And well, I don't know how is it.
I believe if you finish the race in the pits, you start from the back. But if
it depends on the mood of Assetto Corsa, if I remember right. Because every time I was last, I never started in the front. I started in the front only one time for the reverse race. So for me, it always depended on the mood of Assetto Corsa, which was bad.
I think we've had
so I don't know.
we've almost had 100 races here in Track Titan Community Race Series across both the
We
Track
did.
Titan channel and here, and I still don't understand how the reverse grid works.
We don't know how AC works. That's just the thing.
It's a mystery. It's just a mystery. Andrew Glegg and John Ford keeping this battle exciting. It's about the only thing going on track. I feel like it's a little bit boring for everyone on stream at the minute, but I'll try and show you something else that's going on. Roger Sales on his own in a battle with his demons. Victor Lundgren is also on his own, looking to try and catch up to Alexander Gray here and lap him, but he's looking behind him, seeing a mirror full of Ryan Skywalker, who's on the chase for that lead lap. It's going to be a very, very difficult ask. Lucas Gulagzek also coming up to lap Juice Fayers here. He's in 6th position, ducking down the inside of Just, making a very clean move. Just doing very well to get out of the way of the drivers here. NASCAR clearly not his speciality. Just is a quick driver, just not gelling with NASCAR, which, you know, I can't blame him because I'm very bad at it as well. Keith Holt, after that battle he had with Diogo Texeiro a little while ago, has cleared him off. He's about a second ahead of the Portuguese driver. Not quite in the daylight yet, still in that battle, but well, it could disappear quite quickly with a little tap of the wall, but Diogo, for now, still a second away. Huge ass, a lap down. Nathan Alder has come around to pass him. He dropped quite a way back from Diogo Texeiro, actually. I believe a few seconds between them now. Once upon a time, they were battling tooth and nail, weren't they? But yeah, now a lap down on the leader, of course, not a lap down on Diogo Texeira, as Nathan Alder's come around to lap him, and Nathan Alder will be soon hunting down Diogo as well. Isaac Gard, the last of the top 10 here, and actually, excuse me, the only bandit in the top 10 coming round. He's going to be scoring a few points here, and then Alexander Gray in 11th in that Hatsune Miku. It is Miku. I'm not a weeaboo, I swear, guys. Ryan Skywalker, a few laps down.
You are. Accept your fate, demon.
I only like Ghibli films.
Yeah, watched all of them except The Grave of the Fireflies because I heard it's sad and I don't know if I want to watch it or not.
Oh, this is the kind of. Why are we talking? We're talking about anime in a NASCAR race, but these 25-minute long races, we've got 5 minutes remaining, and there's not too much going on track, so we've got to entertain ourselves somehow, haven't we?
Yeah, that's why everybody does something.
Yeah, I feel bad for all the viewers that have to listen to our rambling. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in tonight for this exciting race. We made the race longer, expecting a bit more chaos and a bit more excitement, but I don't want to say it's dragging. But I think we'll be relishing the return to 15-minute races, won't we?
Yeah, you know what's great? We used the safety car for one thing.
Yeah, I was fully expecting to call out the safety car for some big accidents this race, but they just haven't come. So poor little Skittle, who misses out on his one and only oval race in the Track Titan Community Race Series, has had a bit of a boring day, bless him. He's sat in the pits right now, and we can all sympathise with him tonight. Nathan Alder still leading the way here in Charlotte. Just sticking to his lines. It's a real shame that Ryan disconnected because that was a titanic battle up at the front of the pack. Kiki Delivery Service, says Mercury. You know what? I've not seen Kiki Delivery Service. I don't know if that's an anime or a Ghibli film. You'll have to tell us.
I will look. It's a Ghibli film.
You know what? I must have to watch
it's
it.
this.
I'll tell you what, I've also seen Initial D. That's another anime that I've seen.
I haven't seen even the half of the first season.
Initial D is fantastic. What a show. Ryan, did someone drop out then? Excuse me. I think you might have seen the leaderboard glitch a little bit. No. I don't believe they did. Excuse me, guys. Still holding on to the 13 drivers that are here today, and they've got another race to come, of course, with the reverse grid. That should be interesting, I think, the reverse grid. Potentially a bit more chaos. It usually is, however, accelerated potentially with the NASCARs and with the rolling starts, eh?
Oh yeah. I think that's what is the most special thing about this. As well, the rolling start and the safety car driver that we have on spot.
I tell you what, the rolling start was the moment of pure excitement, and now I'm calming down now. I'm getting ready for next race.
It's like, oh, can we have safety car more?
I think next race we should just throw out a safety car at 15 minutes in. I'll drop a vote. Shall I start a poll in the chat? Random safety car? No, I won't do that, guys. I won't do that. I respect the sanctity of competition. Well, back to the racing.
Oh, you mean like... I noticed. I looked through so much of comments on Track Day the Post on Instagram. It's bots or people stuck in 2021. It's horrible.
This is the problem, Sam. You don't delve into the comments of a Track Day post.
Well, now I have to look at them as well. But as well, people are still complaining about things that happened almost 1.5 years ago.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
Safety cars are still a sore subject to many F1 fans. Diogo Teixeira has been passed by Nathan Alder, and we have a bit of action here. Andrew Glegg and John Ford serving it up for us. You know what, I've not been showing them too much, but you know, these two have been having a fun old battle, a ding-dong battle between the pair of them. John now past Andrew for second position. We'll see if Andrew can get past him before the end of the race, which is coming up very, very soon. He's got 1.5 minutes remaining for Nathan Alder to not make any significant errors, as he is 6 seconds ahead of John Ford. A commanding lead in the head of this race. And Nathan, it has to be said, almost had it handed to him. Nothing comes handed to you in racing, does it? Everything's a challenge. But he was battling away with Ryan Skauka there, and then Ryan's unfortunate internet problem meant that Nathan inherited the lead, and it's been uphill since then, really. He's cleared off from his teammate John Ford behind, put a gap of 6 seconds between himself and his teammate in blue, and he's still leading this race, sticking to his lines as we've come to know him to do, and he's going to be certainly leading the championship following this one. Heart goes out to, of course, Ryan Skywalker, who got tragically disconnected. He's back out on circuit, overtaking Roger Sale. He's showing the pace that he's got, and that's what makes it so tragic, is that he had the pace to win, had the pace to challenge for the lead, but he's going to have to settle for no points in this race and drop this score. John Ford and Andrew Glegg still going at it, still quite close, but Andrew dropped back a little bit for him. And finally, Hugh Jass has got past Diogo Teixeira. Oh, because Diogo Teixeira's in the apron. He's had a crash. He was running so well in 6th and 7th position, dropped behind Keith Holt, and now he's limping around, and he really doesn't have a bonnet this time around. Limping on the apron, down in 10th, potentially soon 11th position as Alexander Grail come through to inherit position. Tragedy on the final lap for Diogo Teixeira. Here comes Nathan Alder though, down the back straight. He's on his almost on his parade lap here. Round the final couple corners, one more lap for him to complete. Only 30 seconds here at Charlotte, a very short lap, and 46 laps he'll have completed. What a race it's been, Switzerland.
A long one, that's for sure.
It certainly has been. It certainly has been. 25 minutes. You know what? I've talked a lot of rubbish, and we've spoke about, and I don't know what we're going to speak about in the next race. Hopefully there's a bit more chaos to keep us entertained. But here comes Nathan Alder, as we said, commanded this race from the front after Ryan Skywalker dropped out. Hasn't set a foot wrong, and through he comes, round the final corner, behind Alexander Gray, almost puts another lap on the Swedish meatball. Finishes the race in first position. A commanding win for Nathan Alder, taking home maximum points here. John Ford takes home second position ahead of his teammate Andrew Glegg in third. Roger Sale led a... I don't know what the word is. Not an uninteresting race, but a quiet race on his own in fourth.
Look at TKR. Look at TKR. Do it. Just do.
Oh,
look.
Wow. Wow, look at this, guys. TKR, the team, 1, 2, 3 finish, and look at them all side by side down the back straight. That's fantastic, guys. Looks really cool, doesn't it? All 3 cars in a fantastic blue. Who's this coming up behind it to spoil the fun? Isaac Gard being a bandit. Should we expect any less from the BUKC bandit? TKR celebrating in style. 1, 2, 3 for TKR, and they peel into the pits. Kulicek finished in 6th position, Keith Holt in 7th, Hugh Jass finished in 8th, Isaac Gard finished in 9th, Alexander Gray finished in 10th, and then Ryan Skywalker ended up finishing in 11th position, inheriting a place from Diogo Teixeira before the end of the race. Great recovery from Ryan, given the issue that he had. But a big well done to TKR for taking home their first 1, 2, 3 in the Track Titan Community Race Series. And I like that. That was very nice, guys. I was a big fan of that.
Very, very well done.
Well, race 1 over. Race 2 about to get underway. And Ryan Skywalker is going to start off the front row once again here. Remember, we've got a rolling start. I'm going to put this as a thing in chat for the drivers. So excuse me there. Just don't do a bit of admin for the drivers so they don't forget and blister away on lights out, as we all know what driver instincts are like. Diogo Teixeira is going to take this second race from the front row. Is he? He is. Look, a little skittle already on the front row. He's going to take this race from the front row with Ryan Skywalker alongside. Alexander Gray is going to start in 3rd position with Isaac Gard in 4th. Hugh Jass is going to start in 5th with Keith Holt in 6th. There was a Hugh Spears there in 7th, but he's no longer there. I'm not sure what's happened to him. Victor Lundgren in 8th. Roger Sale in 9th. And then it's the TKR boys rounding out the grid right at the back. You reckon they can work their way through the pack in this next 25 minutes, spit slam and take home another 1, 2, 3?
Might be. Maybe there's a crash this time. Just maybe.
Are you going to force
Just
it? That
maybe.
sounded threatening, mate. Are you going to come on track?
No, I have a stop system. I don't even have a bill. I don't have bills, mate. I don't. My bills are in debt, and now I don't know if I want to buy bills or a microphone. So,
Well,
yeah.
should we start a poll in chat for all the people?
Yes.
What should
Actually,
spit slam
yes.
buy?
Decides the fate of my own money.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. You can answer the poll in the YouTube chat. What should Spitslam buy? New racing pedals or a new mic? Drop your votes in and he'll make his decision off that.
How many you are again? 8? Fine.
Green flag lap about to get underway here for the drivers. Little Skittles
First
going to take them
Ryan.
off from the front. Ryan Skywalker there in 2nd position.
Yeah, there he goes.
And, well, this should be an interesting one. Let's have a look behind Lil Skittle as he takes off. He's going to stick at 100 kilometers per hour. The drivers are going to follow him around for this very, very short lap here at Charlotte. And then the leader is going to set the pace. It was Ryan Skywalker last time. This time, it's Diogo Teixeira there. You can see him wobbling the car side to side, trying to warm up them tyres, get himself a decent start here. A messy formation so far, although the drivers slowly sorting themselves out. They're all doing very, very well, I have to say. Very big commendation to all the drivers here. Coming around, halfway around the circuit. Who's that rounding out the pack? That's Isaac Gard being a bandit right at the back of the pack. Should we be surprised? Probably not. Jocelyn for 1st position. Jocelyn for track position here. Diogo Teixeira leading the way. He's going to dictate the pace. Isaac Gard's trying to find his way back into his grid slot, but that might be a lost cause. I think he's going to have to slot in right at the back and just hope to get a bit of... He's going to have to hope to just get a bit of slipstream. Let's get ready for 25 more minutes of racing. The safety car peels off into the apron. Spitslam, you can do the boogity this time. Diogo Teixeira is going to set the pace. Take it away, Spitslam.
Oh, there we go. Boogity. Let's go racing. And we are still not racing. Guys. Now.
Where they go?
Now they go. Boogity. Let's go racing a bunch of hot dogs. Going now into turn 1 and they all go into a line. That's the start we want as well. No, we don't. But if I see it's John Ford and Nathan Older almost going side by side into the first turn. And they're stern of line.
Yeah, they've been very, very clean on the race starts here, aren't they? We should do more NASCAR more often. Andrew Glegg, the leading TKR driver right now, going very, very high there, trying to capitalise on a bit of slipstream behind Roger Sale. Diogo Teixeira still leading this race, but not for long, because here comes Ryan Skywalker, putting all that NASCAR skill to good use, getting into the lead of this race with relative ease. Alexander Gray, the weeaboo of the century, comes through on Diogo Teixeira as well, and Diogo's really bulked his line by going so high there. He just couldn't recover that and dropped down 2 positions in just a couple of corners. Huge ass just behind him now, having a ding-dong battle with Keith Holt, the driver who was having a battle with last race. They're reigniting the flames, and them two having a decent battle there over 4th and 5th position. And then comes Victor Lundgren, Roger Sale, Andrew Glegg, Nathan Older, and look at them all fanning out. This is very, very tight stuff here in the mid-pack. Ryan Skywalker streaming away in the lead of this race. He is not let up, and he is flying off. Roger Sale into the barrier. Oh, multiple cars around Nathan Older. And surely that is a safety car. Safety car.
That's 3 cars.
Out comes the safety car. Little Skittle onto the track. We need
to wait. They're still going to. You need to slow down. Slow down your horses, guys. Slow your horses. We're still on racing speed.
No, I think we're gently slowing down now. Little Skittles on the back straight. Ryan Skywalker is going to come around and pick him up very soon. The driver's doing very well to not overtake each other. And he's going to let up a little bit here as he comes to collect the safety car, and it's going to bunch the pack right back up. And this is what we were after. Oh boy! Safety car.
I just want to say that they're, yeah, now slowing down. That was fast.
They're doing very well here. Well done, drivers. All coming back into the track. How are we looking? Roger Sale in the pits after that incident. Nathan Older's coming around. He's well off the back of the pack. Same with Andrew Glegg. They were both involved in that incident. They're going to get bunched right up and join this one. Safety car going to come in this lap as the drivers do bunch themselves back up here as they go for yet another rolling start. This time it's going to be Ryan Skywalker dictating the pace. He's going to be taking them off from the front. He's dictated the pace once before in race 1. He can certainly do it again. The driver's now filtering around onto the back straight. Didn't take long to clean up, of course. Esports has got the added benefit that you can all just pull into the pits. But the drivers, this is awesome stuff. This is, you know what? Even if the race has not been fantastic, I love this. This is actually amazing. The driver's coming around. Ryan Skywalker is going to dictate the pace here. He was leading the race before we got going. Oh, and he's already gone. I think he's gone for a little bit of an early one here. He's put the foot down quite early on. Little Skittle giving us a little bit of a show as he comes back in. And the drivers are back to racing here. Alexander Gray dogging with Ryan Skywalker right up onto the start-finish line. And look at them all filter through. They're going side by side. Oh my goodness me. Alexander Gray's around as well. And safety cars breed safety cars. Although I don't think necessary this time because it's only Alexander Gray that's gone around. So the rest of the drivers have managed to do very well to keep it on the circuit. And they're filtering through about 10 drivers, and you could throw a blanket over the lot of them. Poor old Alexander Gray got bullied off the track there. Didn't collect anyone else, very, very fortunately. Huge Ass is in second position. Great position for the English driver to be in there. He managed to get past Keith Holt on that safety car restart. Victor Lundgren is in 4th position ahead of Diego Teixeira, who's just dropping like a sack of bricks here. Hugh Spears and John Ford going side by side. John Ford holding that high line. Hughes on the low line. They're going to come almost 3 wide with Diego Teixeira here as they're coming around around the first big long left-hander. A couple of bumps and barges further back. Nathan Older is past his teammate Andrew Glegg as he gets up behind Isaac Gard and looks to get past his fellow countrymen. And there's about 5 drivers separated by a second here, Spitzler.
This is what we wanted.
This is what you wanted, isn't it?
Yep. It definitely is. And I was a little bit bunched up as well, so the safety car works. We should do this more.
Yeah, that safety car really made it for a little bit of interesting racing, didn't it? John Ford up position on Hugh Spears. Nathan Older through on Isaac Gard. He's managed to get through him with relative ease, and now they're going side by side down the back straight. Nathan Older, Isaac Gard, and Andrew Glegg looking to get a piece of the pie, but Isaac Gard is holding him off for a little while longer now. Andrew Glegg ducking up behind his teammate. They're going to get to the low line, slipstream each other, and get themselves almost past Isaac Gard. Andrew Glegg doesn't manage to get himself past his fellow countryman there. Nathan Older through with relative ease. Older, Isaac Gard, you know, valiant effort for fighting back in this little battle of 3, a little bit behind the main battle that's going on ahead of them. Ryan Skywalker away and clear in the lead of this race. Andrew Glegg through on Isaac Gard. Isaac Gard a little bit too hot to that corner there, went very, very high and lost the position. John Ford is looking to make positions here. He's ducking to the inside, he's ducking to the outside. He's going to try and hold that high line around the outside of Diogo Teixeira, but he gets a little bit oversteer. Ducks back down to that low line. Victor Lundgren and Hugh Jass side by side for second position. Victor Lundgren on the inside of Hugh Jass takes position away. Keith Holt also getting a piece of the pie. Oh, and Diogo Teixeira's onto the grass. Hugh Jass is slightly up into the wall. He bumps himself but manages to hold on. Keith Holt is slowing right down. He lost a bit of speed there coming off of that corner. Victor Lundgren away in second position, and they're almost too wide once again coming around onto the back straight here. This is awesome racing from 5 drivers separated by less than half a second here. John Ford down the inside of Keith Holt takes their position away from the driver there. Diogo Teixeira on that high line. He's going to hold on to that position ahead of Hugh Jass and Hugh Sveirs close behind. John Ford still holding on to that third position for now. Meanwhile, Victor Lundgren has managed to get himself clear and away in second position. He's got about half a second between himself and John Ford, which is a good amount of time at this circuit. John Ford seems to have a little bit more pace than Keith Holt, potentially a little bit more pace than Victor Lundgren, as he's getting a lot of slipstream off him, isn't he?
Seems like he has. Now going too wide into the corner. You can see the car tilted as well. The overtake cleanly done very well. Keith going really high, almost getting overtaken again by Hugh Jass. And now Hughes just trying to go up the outside and almost trying to make it pretty wide. Now you can just see him illumine shark. Oh, Keith going really slowly. And that's an overtake by Hugh Jass, and Hugh Sveirs just going behind Hugh Jass and having a free overtake on Keith Holt.
Yeah, Keith lost a few positions in one corner there actually, and is now back down in 7th position all the way from 2nd. He was fighting for just a moment ago. Houston Hughes still battling out, and ahead of them Diogo Teixeira, and then it's John Ford and Victor Lundgren. John Ford, I said he had a little bit more pace in him than Victor did, and he's now on that low line. Victor Lundgren holds the high line, tries to hang it around the outside, but gets a little bit of oversteer as he comes back down low, goes back down high, tries to hold on. Victor Lundgren is going to get pushed right to the wall here. John Ford pushing him right along the straight here, and he's going to touch the brakes before he gets into the corner, get that back end around, get the power down. Victor Lundgren has to settle for third position, but here he comes back down the inside, touches the back end of John Ford, gets a little bit of oversteer, and then loses some time. Behind them, Hugh Sveirs and Diogo Teixeira now side by side on the start-finish straight. Hugh Sveirs on the inside, Diogo Teixeira on the outside, and that's a clean move from Hugh Sveirs, the Dutch driver there, through on the Portuguese driver, Diogo Teixeira. Nathan Older is through on Isaac Gard. He's working with Andrew Glegg to catch up to this next group ahead of them. It's not going to be an easy task though, is it? There's a little bit of a gap there.
There is. But pretty good gap. But yeah, as well, one mistake can mean anything. That will mean as well for next week, which will be WTCR at Montreal, which the Gilles Villeneuve circuit. That will be interesting. Hugh Jass, DNFing.
Keith Holt very slow on the apron as well.
He's one lap down as well to Isaac Gard.
Yeah, not sure what quite has happened to Keith Holt there. I think he's now potentially in the pits. He really dropped down actually. Two laps. How was that happen? Nonetheless, must have missed that. Nathan Older and Andrew Glegg still getting the slipstream off each other, and they're slowly catching to Diogo Teixeira. This is an example of how teammates should work together. Their fellow teammate John Ford is in second position, 5.5 seconds off Ryan Skywalker. That 1-2-3 looks to be, well, a pipe dream the way that Ryan Skywalker's going right now.
Oh, Ryan is in no man's land. Where is Ryan? Yeah, now going to the start-finish straight. He's fighting his demons right now. Let's leave the demon to his demons. Voting now. Where did we come from? And Andrew Gregg trying to overtake Nathan Older, or actually still working together and found his line. Doesn't seem like it. Trying to go a little bit high, but that doesn't work as well. Yet losing time on Nathan Older and
I feel like Andrew's job at this point has been dictated as follow Nathan and help him, because Nathan's going to try and come through and get as many points as he can to extend his championship lead. However, I'm not sure how TKR works. I'm not sure if you guys have many team orders, or if Andrew's very clear to race, but it is clear that Nathan has got that dog in him. Is all I've got to say today.
What do you mean? Or is it like Red Bull? Oh yeah, they can race each other. I don't care. And then team orders. Just
Oh, huge
in
ass.
a matter of seconds.
Huge ass is in the chat. He got tapped in the back and then his engine blew and had a 275 second wait to rejoin. So no point carry. That's a real shame, Hugh. Sorry to hear that. That's 70s engineering at its finest, I think, isn't it? That must be. I don't know what's gone on there. Real shame for Hugh Ass, though. As I said, it was going very, very well. TKR Mercury's in the chat. 0 team orders as of now, which means that Andrew Glegg is clear to race with his teammate here, Nathan Alder. So any gains made are, well, of their own credit, and they are slowly gaining onto Diogo Teixeira here, looking to break into this top 5. This will be very interesting as they've quickly closed into the Portuguese drive. Look at the pace that they got in them. Here they come onto the start-finish line. Diogo Teixeira is looking in his mirrors and he's seeing it's full of Nathan Alder and he's absolutely bricking it. He's trying to run away, but it's not going to last for long. Nathan Alder on the slipstream takes the high line. Diogo Teixeira holds that low line. Now Nathan Alder looking to get more slipstream. Duck back underneath and then on the start-finish straight, he's going to try and get past the Portuguese driver here. Unable to do it though, doesn't have the amount of overspeed on the Portuguese driver. Touching the brakes coming into this corner, getting that back end around, getting the car slowed down so he doesn't go too high. Stays right behind Diogo, gets out alongside him now. He's slowly eking out a gap on him, but Diogo is able to hold that high line and get a little bit more speed now in towards this first long left-hander. Hugh says, it was great fun up to that point, but you have no set as well. I mean, that does not help you, does it? It puts you at the disadvantage. Goodness me, I've been on an onboard cam and I've missed Andrew Glegg coming alongside Nathan Alder.
Here comes Andrew. Well, maybe they'll try to double team it. No, they won't. But now that's weird. Nathan lost a little bit too much speed. So I think now, oh, how was last race? How he just lost the 2 positions. So maybe it will be the same. Andrew will just overtake Diego down the inside, and Nathan will just maybe try and adapt, go right behind him. And no, he doesn't do that. He's not cheap as that. And Diego's still going almost side by side. Not anymore. Just line of stern. These 3 drivers. I think even you cannot create a safety car with these 3 cars if you crash well enough.
I hope they don't crash. I hope they don't crash because this is great racing for these 3 drivers here. Diogo Teixeira, for all I thought he was going to drop right behind these 2, is holding on very, very well for now. Andrew Glegg right behind him. Nathan Alder not far behind. He's lurking, looking to gain 2 positions in one. Hopefully, he's got to hope that Andrew and Diogo slow each other down and he can just slip down the inside. Not happening for now, though. Diogo driving good old race, isn't he, Diogo?
Diego is actually driving really well. A little bit like gaining on them, then get again the yo-yos. It's just the yo-yo again. But he's doing real well, keeping his lines and doing everything fine. And actually, if I look at it, it doesn't seem very hard to defend on ovals, like at all.
Well, I think there's a bit of apprehension from some of the drivers, isn't there? They're a bit worried about spinning, aren't they?
Well, it definitely is, but if you just keep yourself low enough so a different car cannot fit there, you are just fine. If you are again, if you go like low, high, low, then I think you are fine.
I think potentially.
Because if you don't go too high, then you are good. Like now, Diego is in. If you look, well, not now. He's too low for what I'm saying. But he's doing it in the second corner, as I'm saying it. Almost Nathan trying to dive it down. And also, you have to go as closest to the walls as you have. You have to use all the walls on the straights. So now you just have to go like around this height, and now just go down again to the exit, and go onto the straight. That's what you should do. But when you have to hold straight, just closest as you can to the barrier. That's what you should do.
Tell you what, NASCAR don't need coaches. Just get spit slamming and knows what he's doing.
No, because when I was bored, I just downloaded like I don't know, it was like some kind of oval game, just some kind of NASCAR, and I was just bored, so I grinded the heck out of it. So I did that the whole time. It just worked really well. I was like, yeah, I'm bored. I'm just not going to play it anymore.
Ooh, Andrew Glegg clipping the wall there,
no.
losing a bit of time there. Nathan Alder now alongside him on the start-finish straight. His teammate is through on him, and I think that's the clutching point, isn't it? If every driver's sticking to the lines quite well, as you say, getting that outside-inside line and able to hold you back, well, it comes down to just individual errors like that, and it's very easy to make an individual error in these cars, especially these 70s ones. They're very loose, so a little bit too much of a touch on the brakes, you might wash out wide. A little bit too late of a turn in, you're going to wash out wide. You're going to lose some time, you're going to clip that wall. Nathan Alder, though, not gaining the speed that I potentially thought he would do on Diogo Teixeira here, and full credit to Diogo. He's defending very, very well, isn't he?
Well, he's defending one of the best defenders I have ever seen as well, though. But as I said, I don't know if Andrew is listening to the stream, I hope not. But if you will watch it, I didn't mean for you to go that close to the wall, just how you are doing now. If you look at Andrew now, that was how close to the wall you are supposed to be when racing, but he got a little bit close, touched the wall. Mistakes happen, and now Nathan is again attacking on Diego, and we'll see if any battle is going to happen from here, but Diego is still on that inside line, still doing the basic of defending. I don't think Nathan will have enough speed to go high.
But Nathan breaking late, getting that high line, really trying.
No!
Oh no, is that another disconnect?
Again! John!
No! Ryan Skywalker once again out of the race with internet problems. This is absolutely devastating, actually. I really feel bad for Ryan here. He hasn't said a foot wrong in racing today, and that's just his internet letting him down once again. So, once again, a TKR driver inherits the lead. This time, it's John Ford in the lead of this race. Victor Lundgren now into second. Yusvez onto the podium positions. He had a really, really rough race in the first race, Yus, and now he's on the podium. So, well, rags to riches for Yus. Diogo in fourth. Nathan now battling for fourth, though. Of course, with Diogo Teixeira on the inside line. Door bashing with Diogo Teixeira here. Diogo Teixeira into the wall under the start-finish line, loses a bit of time. Nathan Alder, look at the car, lean as he comes around them tighter corners here at the oval. Unable to get the position away from Diogo there, but look at the speed he's got. Oh, he has to stamp on the brakes as he comes right up behind Diogo Teixeira there. Almost into the back of the Portuguese driver as he comes onto the back straight.
Now look, now the difference will go in speed. Now, again, trying to down the insides, trying to defend it really well. Whoa. These cars are massive as well.
Yeah, huge,
compared to the Cobra at least. But you can see, they've been going side by side for how many? 2 laps? 3 laps?
2 laps? What? They've been going side by side for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's the point. We should do this more often.
Yeah, these NASCARs have offered up some fun old racing here, haven't they? At Mountain Peak Raceway, and I'll tell you what, I've enjoyed watching it, despite there not being as many overtakes as potentially we'd normally get. Diogo, though, full credit for his defense.
You said, actually, fun fact, in the pre-race chat, when just the little bit of time that we had before you guys came in for the drivers' meeting, Nathan actually didn't know this car had a rear wing, and if you look, it does, but it's small. But this is the point. These people didn't even know basically the smallest things on the cars. They know that for every other. They didn't know it for this, and still Nathan has a win and battling here for 4th place and doing a really good job at it as well. Oh, touching the wall as I said. Sorry, Nathan. Oof. But as well as Nathan, not Nathan, as you said it, that it was really good fun until his engine committed, just died. Not going to continue there.
Yeah, it has been I think it's been very fun for all the drivers, hasn't it? I think I'm sure we'll hear that from Nathan and John when we get them in. That is if John, of course, holds on to this lead for the next 4.5 minutes. But with 6.9 seconds to Victor Lundgren, it doesn't look like he's going to throw that away anytime soon. Hopefully that's not a commentator's curse. If it is, I'm sorry, John. Nathan Alder now battling with Diogo Teixeira. Once again, threatening over the start-finish line. But this gap seems to come right down here at the start-finish line. And then it just spreads right out.
That's a mistake by Diogo Teixeira, and Nathan just flies by. That little wiggle was the deciding factor of this whole. How much? Yeah, like, I don't know, 20 22-minute race.
Yeah, for how long these guys have been battling. One tiny mistake from Diogo Teixeira, Nathan Alder capitalises, and he's through. But that's what he does, that's what Nathan Alder does. He waits, he gets his lines right, and he capitalises when you make the mistakes. Behind, that's not a battle, don't get too excited. That's Andrew Glegg battling away with Roger Sale. I think Roger Sale potentially is unlapping himself, actually. Got a bit of pace on him, and he's 8 laps down, though, potentially with an issue some point in the race. Diogo Teixeira and Nathan Alder still side by side, still battling away. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Still battling away, and well, that little Rio win is getting put to good use, isn't it? Here with Diogo tearing at the steering wheel as he goes around the corners.
Yeah, things
Roger's got pace.
will actually get interesting as well, but that's more post-race. I will mention it to Nathan as well. But yeah, Diego's still here, still battling Nathan Alder, and now looking down the inside a little bit, but it's too far away and going real high up. His line starts to be a little bit worse. Now you know we're taken by Nathan. Seems like.
Yeah, looks like it's a shame Roger Sale is a few laps down, actually, as it looks like he could have been challenging for a much higher position than he's warranted right now, down in 9th position, as he's currently battling and trying to get past Diogo Teixeira, giving us a little bit of something to chew on, as he easily made his way past Andrew Glegg. Andrew Glegg was, well, he was sticking with his teammate for so long. They were having an awesome ding-dong battle, but he just hasn't had the pace to keep up with that Nathan going later on into the race, has he?
Definitely for sure.
Well, here comes Diogo Teixeira, looking to try and take the move on Nathan Alder, but unfortunately isn't able to capitalise this time around. He tried to get that outside line, and that's going to bulk him as he comes around this corner, having to brake a little bit deeper, a little bit earlier, and Roger Sale is going to get a little bit of overspeed on him as they're coming down the back straight to unlap himself, potentially. Although Nathan not got the speed out in front of this little mini pack here. He's losing time by not slipstreaming. Diogo Teixeira losing a position, losing a lap to Roger Sale. Roger Sale goes full Doc Hudson all over the grass there. Behind them, Andrew Glegg and Keith Holt are battling it out. Andrew Glegg passing Keith Holt there. Keith, of course, a couple of laps down himself. A minute and a half remaining. John Ford still in the lead of this race in that bright blue TKR livery. And this will be a podium and a win for John Ford, which means he's going to be shooting up the championship order following this race, if he can hold on to this for one more minute. And I have to say, this NASCAR, as we said, has offered us some. It's, you know what, as I keep saying, going back to, there hasn't been as many overtakes as normal, but it's been a fun watch. I think it's been a fun thing to just enjoy. But however, I am also starting to understand why Americans have so many adverts. I think I could have played a few out in this race.
Yeah, it makes sense. But the racing, if it's close, it still keeps you at the edge of the seats.
Oh, it certainly does.
Imagine if we had 30 people.
Yeah, it's very true.
You wouldn't know what to commentate.
That's exactly true, I suppose. In real life NASCAR, they've got 50 odd cars on the track, and it's something for the ages, isn't it? But not here, unfortunately. We've had a few less drivers than that, but the racing, as I say, it's been fun. And John Ford, for all the fun racing that has been going on, he hasn't had a lot of racing to do in this particular race. In the first race, of course, we saw John Ford and Andrew Glegg fighting for position all race long, and he had his fun there. But this race, he's just been sticking to his lines, inherited a position once again, from Ryan Skywalker, as Ryan again has internet problems and drops out of this race. So sad. So sad for Ryan Skywalker. But unfortunately, he drops out of first place. John Ford inherits that first place position. And the timer has ticked down to 0, which means that John Ford is going to be starting the final lap very, very soon. Victor Lundgren, also in a bit of a race of his own. He's there in second position. And this is 2 quiet races for Victor, isn't it? He's had 2 decent results, but 2 very, very quiet races. Joos Veers, as I said, biggest contrast of the day goes to Joos Veers. Race 1 finishes 12 laps down. Race 2, 3rd place, as long as he doesn't crash. I don't want to curse him. But yeah, big contrast there for the Dutch driver, and well, he'll be happy with that one. The checkered flag seems to be out. Didn't see the white flag getting flown, but the checkered flag certainly is out. John Ford crosses the line. He finishes this race in first position after inheriting it after Ryan's disconnection. Victor Lundgren in second. Hugh Sveers in third. Nathan Alder comes on to take home a fourth position to go alongside his race win from race 1. Diogo Teixeira isn't able to gain that position back on him. He finishes in 5th position. Andrew Clegg finishes in 6th, and the rest of the drivers are already finished. 7th for Isaac Gard, 8th for Keith Holt, and 9th for Roger Sale. And that's all we had left. Everyone else just either died or disconnected.
Yeah. The close race was really good. It actually kept you at the edge of the seat. It makes sense why people watch it. But yeah, the ads are why for the long race it's needed.
Well, the poll has been completed. Spitslam needs to buy new racing pedals. The people have decided. The people have decided, and TKR come along in formation once again. Nice to see John Ford, Nathan Alden, and Andrew Clegg, and Isaac Card once again being a plonker, trying to show off next to these guys who are giving us another formational lap. And this is really cool to see for the drivers in the team, in the TKR team, coming around the circuit. I'm just laughing at Isaac being a flipping idiot. 3 line astern, 1, 2, 3 in the first race, 1, 4, 6 in the second. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it. Victor Lundgren took home the 2nd place. Hugh Sveers took home the 3rd place of the podium. We'll let these guys do the parade lap, and then we'll grab Nathan and John for their interviews, shall we?
Yeah, we shall. You look into the chat, look a little bit up, and you'll see a very thing.
Poor Ryan Skywalker, not happy. He's really not happy.
And the second thing that you might notice, just notice the name on Discord. Just look at that.
I don't see it.
Well, yeah, he's gone. Or how to say it? 3 times.
Anyway, we'll come back to Ryan. I'm sure we'll.
Yeah, we'll come back.
We'll see it. It's a real shame for Ryan. His internet dropping out. Let's see if we can get Nathan and John Ford in. Let's drag.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. We'll drag John Ford in first. There we go. John Ford, race 2 winner, and well, I suppose not particularly. I'll drag Nathan as well. I can talk to you both, as you're both teammates. I'll talk to you both together. John first. Well, I suppose Nathan as well. Not quite the way you wanted to win, gents, but I suppose it's a win nonetheless.
Yeah, win's a win, isn't it? But yeah, it would have been nice to have had a bit more pace in that last race. I had a bit of damage on the front, side, and rear, so I don't think the car had the pace in it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, credit to you then, because if you were managing damage as well, you still stayed clear of Victor Lundgren, who didn't manage to gain any time on you whatsoever. He still finished a fair few seconds ahead of him. And well, same goes for you, Nathan. Were you how was that second race for you, particularly with your battles you were going on?
The second race, the car was a bit of a wreck. I got caught obviously in that big pile up. It all happened in front of me. I did hit the brakes, but these cars don't stop very well, do they? But yeah, a lot of damage, which was affecting me on the straights. The battle I had with Diogo, I was able to gain a lot of time in the corners, but as soon as we come out on the straight, side by side, he was able to pull clear and then shut the door on me. So it took 10 minutes to pass him. He finally made a mistake, I think he caught the wall on the exit of turn 4, and yeah, I was able to make the move work and then slowly get away. But yeah, it was hard work, that second race.
Yeah, that second race didn't come quite as easy for you, but then we've
The first race.
got to say, we'll cast your minds back to the first race. Firstly, you and Nathan. It was an epic battle with Ryan, wasn't it, early on? You two were loggerheads.
Yeah, it was a good battle. We was yeah, we was both sort of giving it a roll. He was making contact with the wall quite a bit on the exit of the final turn, which was giving me a run each time. And I thought I'd just sort of bide my time, and hopefully he'll either damage his car or have a little moment. And then I noticed, I think the tyre wear was on. I thought the tyre wear was going to be off, but it was on. I don't know if I just got maybe confused, but
Yeah, I noticed mine was
Uh,
wearing a little bit. When I
and,
dropped out your slipstream, then
yeah,
yeah, definitely I didn't have as much grip.
no. So I sort of started to sort of save my tyres a little, and then Ryan vanished through the track and disappeared.
Yeah,
Um,
I suppose it looked funny on screen, but it's actually really tragic that you didn't manage to have that awesome battle with him, and
Yeah.
internet problems taking him away from the race. But I suppose again, bitter way to take it, but it's a win for you, which means you're going to be leading the championship coming out of this one. Your championship charge is looking good. There's a few challenges coming up. John potentially is also a challenger.
Yeah.
Do you reckon he's going to take it away from you? How are you thinking about it, Nathan?
Oh, it'll be a good, it's a challenge. We generally practice a lot together, so we know the weaknesses of each of our games, so and the strengths. So yeah, it'll be a good battle, I'm sure, with John. I think at the moment he had a few bad races early in the season, so I've got a few points in hand, but the drop rounds obviously affect that. But yeah, no, John's coming on strong, so I've got to watch out for. It seems John at the moment more than Ryan and Lucas, is it? Lucas
Yeah. Lucas, not quite the best day of the race. He did okay, but not his best day at the races today. And then, of course, certainly not one for Ryan. John, that first race for you as well. You had an awesome battle with your teammate, didn't you, Andrew? You two, you were quite close, weren't you?
We was, yeah, and we were trying to obviously, not get too close and wipe each other out either, because I think all the cars were sort of moving about quite a lot when you're getting close. But yeah, we had a good battle and we gave each other loads of room. Do you know what I mean? When one had the slipstream, so yeah, Andy done a good race. Yeah, good, solid teammate.
Done TKR proud, and I tell you what, your formation laps that you did put a right smile on my face. It was very, very nice to see. Well done, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah, that was a good result. That first race was a 1-2-3, so
it was, yeah.
For us, yeah.
Very well done for TKR.
Good.
Well, I won't go too much into it. I'm sure we'll talk to you both at some point later on in the season as well. But thank you both for racing, and very, very well done, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Look forward to watching the stream back.
We talked about some random shit, but
It's always interesting.
Thanks, Nathan. Thanks, John.
Cheers,
we'll
John.
catch you guys
Cheers.
later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, there we go. Nathan Alder and John Ford, your race 1 and race 2 winners. Well, thanks to everyone that joined us on the stream tonight. It's been a fun little one, hasn't it, Spitzler?
Been a very great race. I think we should have more of everything.
More
of
everything.
NASCAR. Yeah, more of NASCAR and have more fun. Just
More fun.
around these cars as well.
Just more fun,
just-
more of
yeah.
everything. Oh, I'm on board with
fun,
that.
More of everything. Just no, this race was very good.
It was very good. Tom Jones has joined us in the commentary booth. Tom, did you catch much of that race? What did you think, mate?
I thought those last couple of laps were wonderful. It was great watching a Ford drive around in a Dodge, and yeah, it was all sorts.
It was very interesting. You'll have to tune back and watch the rest of the stream. Well, we'll end the stream here as Tom makes a special appearance. Thanks to everyone that did join us tonight. And next week, as Spitzam said earlier, we've got WTCR. So we'll be looking forward to a bit more circuit racing. But until then, we'll catch you later.